Hey guys, let's talk about manifestation and how can you actually manifest anything that you desire in your life, from money. Maybe you want to lose weight, maybe you want a beautiful relationship, you want another job, another career, maybe you want to move on another continent. Now, how does this happen? And that is one thing that you should maybe never ask yourself, because the universe works its way. You should just feel in your heart that you have already achieved what you want to achieve, and the universe is going to make it happen. Now, I know that there's a lot of people out there talking about this, and this is not something unique, but I want to share with you my story on my channel so you understand how I ended up becoming a life coach, how I own several other companies, and I'm just a normal, regular Romanian girl that actually came to the United States in 2005. Guess what? I've always dreamed about living in the United States. I didn't know when I was gonna get here, and I didn't really know how, and I didn't care about the how. And the way I got here was almost, someone would say, what is the percentage of that even happening? As you probably know, a lot of you, in order to get to the United States, especially at that time when I came in 2005, even now, you need to have a visa. You can't just come to the United States. Now, I won the green card lottery. And do you know how? My husband, we were freshly married. Before we went to our honeymoon, my husband showed his uncle, who was a physician, who was sick and tired of the system there in Romania. He showed him how to apply for the green card lottery in order for him to come to the US. So we didn't necessarily plan to come to the US at that point. We were just freshly married, as I said, and my husband had a great job. I had a great job. So we weren't planning on moving to the United States in the next year, a couple of years. We had just built our house. Now, the interesting part is that his uncle, the physician who wanted to come here so badly, didn't know how to apply for this lottery. So he came to our house and my husband showed him the process online using my personal information. My picture, he showed him how to adjust my picture, my information. So pretty much that's what happened. And guess what? We went in our honeymoon, we came back, and when my father-in-law picked us up from the airport, he said, "You have a big pile of paper that arrived in the mail. I have absolutely no clue what it is, but I put it there in the kitchen for you." So we went inside the house, we checked the paperwork, and it took quite a while to understand what that paperwork was even about. We didn't apply, we had completely forgotten. My husband showed his uncle about the green card, so it's like a lot of mumbo jumbo legal things that we didn't understand. And then it hit me, and guess what? Within 3 months of finding out we were going to come here, my husband got a job offer from his dad's friend who owned a company in Los Angeles. And we not only ended up coming to the United States, we had a job, we had a house. It was like everything just aligned. And when I was a child, in my dreams, I've always envisioned Los Angeles. I always wanted, and then I have a BFA in theater and film, so I always envisioned living in that city filled with lights. I would look at postcards from friends that had family in the United States, and they looked so shiny and so bright and so colorful. And I always wanted to have that type of life, to be in a city where there's a lot of lights, where there's a lot of Christmas lights. I always had this image of myself. And guess what? 3 months later, me and my husband landed in West Hollywood. That's where our first apartment was, our studio. And then where our daughter was born. And my life started just rolling in front of my eyes and in front of my family's eyes, who couldn't really say anything. That was my path, and I had to choose it and follow it. Now, the reason I'm giving you this story is because my journey didn't end there. It was just the start. And that's when I became more self-aware of what visualization is and what manifesting is, and how you can actually envision everything that you want. And if you don't add any hows and but what if, then things are falling in place. You just need to trust the process. At this point, and I have a book that I launched. Actually, I have several, but one of them, the initial book that I wrote, Journey to Inner Joy and Success in Real Estate, talked about how I came here, and then all of the difficulties and all of the struggles that we've been through as a family, including the loss of a couple of children, losing the company that then my husband, after a few years, had built to zero, building from scratch, making $100,000 by myself in the first year in my career as a realtor back in 2011, after I almost died from a second miscarriage. I mean, I can tell you on and on and on how many things we've been through, and I can tell you for a fact that it wasn't the money. It was just something that was beyond myself when it comes to manifesting, when it comes to really wanting to help other people, to really knowing that there's something in my heart that I need to listen to. And no, I don't need to go back to Romania to the safety of the net of my parents and the house and lack of mortgage. No, I didn't need to do that. I needed to do something, and I still am doing something that I know can make an impact in my life. And it all comes and boils down to manifesting. It all boils down to envisioning what I want to do. I know I want to help millions of people all over the globe overcome the stress, the anxiety, the depression, everything that I've accumulated through my years of experience as a human being on this planet, in this country, as a first generation immigrant, having children, being broke, having lost two children, two miscarriages at 3 and 5 months, building myself, not overbuilding, but reinventing myself over and over and over again. Now, it might seem that it's difficult, but when you really want something, it can happen, regardless of how much money you have in your account, regardless of what you're going through, regardless of how you feel like your life is just falling apart. And I know how you feel, because I have a lot of clients at the moment calling me and just saying, we don't really know what our purpose is. We wake up and we go to our job and we don't really know whether or not that's what we want to do. So there's a lot more to it. There's a lot more to manifesting, to visualizing. And I want you to be able to just say to yourself one day, wow, a year ago I was in this state of mind. Look at myself today. Look at how I evolved. It's going to take a little bit of work. It is going to take developing self-awareness, understanding where you are, knowing where you want to go and why you want to go there. Then maybe changing your habits, mindset. It is definitely a process, right? It is definitely a mastery, an internal mastery that you have to go through, so that you can shift and remodel and rewire things that you are experiencing at the moment. But once you get there, you will then understand. You will understand that everything, all of the blockages, everything that you feel right now, and you probably feel like there's no way out, were actually just a lesson. They were actually signs from the universe that were all directed your way in order to get where you are, or where you're going to be in a year or 3 months, or whatever the time is that you want to give yourself. So that's about it. That's what I wanted to share in a nutshell. It is so much more complex than that, but I wanted to tell you that you can indeed achieve anything that you want in this life. Just listen to my story. And if you are an immigrant, if you are first generation, or if you're someone that just landed in this country, feel free to give me a call at any time. I understand your journey. I understand how difficult it can be to come to a different country, to reinvent yourself. Maybe you have a postdoc, maybe you have a PhD, a master's degree, and now suddenly you have to work at Trader Joe's or Ross or TJ Maxx or clean toilets. And guess what? There's absolutely nothing wrong with any of that. This is a process. This is a journey. And life is beautiful. Life is supposed to be lived with joy. And we're supposed to take everything and every experience and every relationship that we have with other people in a positive way, in a joyous way, to see what we can learn from everyone, to be genuinely curious, and to also not forget to give yourself a lot of love, a lot of self-compassion, a lot of forgiveness. not only forgive yourself, but forgive everyone in your life. It is definitely going to prompt you to different levels of consciousness, of awareness, of progress, of growth. Thank you so much for being here and for listening to part of my journey. If you have any questions or if you would like to get in touch with me, I would love to talk to you, and I would love to see how life coaching can actually help you in your journey of overcoming challenges, stress, anxiety, and maybe past traumatic experiences. Take care, and I'll speak with you soon. And by the way, subscribe and comment below and let me know if there's anything else that you would like me to talk about. Take care.